सुर में गाना सीखिए पाधानीसा ऐप के साथ। AI पावर्ड पर्सनल म्यूजिक टीचर फ्रॉम सारेगामा।
காமமும் கோபமும் உள்ளம் நிரம்பவீன் காலமும் செல்ல மடிந்திடமோ காலமும் செல்ல மடிந்திடமோ உத்தமமானிடராய் பெரும் புண்ணிய நல்வினையால் உலகில் பிறந்தோம் உத்தமமானிடராய் பெரும் புண்ணிய நல்வினையால் உலகில் பிறந்தோம் சத்திய ஞான தயாநிதியாகிய சத்திய ஞான தயாநிதியாகிய புத்தரை போற்றுதல் நம் கடனே புத்தரை போற்றுதல் நம் கடனே உண்மையும் ஆருயிர் அன்பும் அகிம்சையும் இல்லையெனில் நர ஜென்மமிதேய உண்மையும் ஆருயிர் அன்பும் அகிம்சையும் இல்லையெனில் நர ஜென்மமித மண்மீதிலோர் சுமைய பொதி தாங்கிய வாழ்மரமே வெறும் பாமரமே மண்மீதிலோர் சுமைய பொதிதாகிய பாழ்மரமே வெறும் பாமரமே பிறந்தது எனக்காக ஓடும் நதிகளும் எனக்காக உலகம் பிறந்தது எனக்காக ஓடும் நதிகளும் எனக்காக மலர்கள் மலர்வது எனக்காக அன்னை மடியை விரித்தாய் எனக்காக உலகம் பிறந்தது எனக்காக ஓடும் நதிகளும் எனக்காக பிறந்தது எனக்காக ஓடும் நதிகளும் எனக்காக தவழும் நிலவாம் தங்கர உலகம் பிறந்தது எனக்காக, ஓடும் நதிகளும் எனக்காக. உலகம் பிறந்தது எனக்காக, ஓடும் நதிகளும் எனக்காக. உலகம் பிறந்தது எனக்காக, ஓடும் நதிகளும் எனக்காக. மலர்கள் மலர்வது எனக்காக, அன்னை மடியை விரித்தாள் எனக்காக. உலகம் பிறந்தது எனக்காக, ஓடும் நதிகளும் எனக்காக. राधे 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 நிஜம் அலை மோதவே கண்ணும் குளமாகவே கொஞ்சம் கண்ணனை பிரிந்தே போகிறாள். ராதை கண்ணனை பிரிந்தே போகிறாள். நெஞ்சம் அலை மோதவே குழந்தை பருவம் முதல் ஒன்றாக சேர்ந்தே கோகுல வீதிகளில் ஆடியதை மறந்தே. குழந்தை பருவம் முதல் ஒன்றாக சேர்ந்தே கோகுல வீதிகளில் ஆடியதை மறந்தே. குழலின் ஓசை தரும் தேன் சுவையை பிரிந்தே. குழலின் ஓசை தரும் தேன் சுவையை பிரிந்தே. விழிகள் வேறு திசை மாறியே கொஞ்சம் கண்ணனை பிரிந்தே போகிறாள். நெஞ்சம் அலை மோதவே கண்ணும் குளமாகவே கொஞ்சம் கண்ணனை பிரிந்தே போகிறாள். ராதை கண்ணனை பிரிந்தே போகிறாள். நெஞ்சம் அலை மோதவே இன்ப ஒளி நீங்கி இருள் தூழும் நேரம். இன்ப ஒளி நீங்கி இருள் தூழும் நேரம். கந்தடியே இல்லை யமுனா நதி ஓரம். கண்ணன் வேறானான் ராதை வேறானான். கண்ணன் வேறானான் ராதை வேறானாள். இன்னல் புயலால் திண்டாடலானாள். என் சொல்வேன் இறைவாவும் லீலையே கொஞ்சம் கண்ணனை பிரிந்தே போகிறாள். நெஞ்சம் அலை மோதவே கண்ணும் குளமாகவே கொஞ்சம் கண்ணனை பிரிந்தே போகிறாள். ராதை கண்ணனை பிரிந்தே போகிறாள். நெஞ்சம் அலை மோதவே
பறவைதனை எடுத்து செல்கின்றாய். பெரும் செமமின்றி பிள்ளை பெற்ற பெரிய தாயே. அன்னை என்ப என்பவள் நீதானா? அவனும் உனக்கு மகந்தானா? மற்றொரு பிள்ளை பெறுவாயாதை உற்றவர் கையில் தருவாயா? அன்னை என்பவள் நீதானா? கூட பிறந்த குயில் என்று நீ கொடுத்த செல்வம் பல உண்டு. மாறிவிட்டாயே நீ இன்று மயங்குகிறாயே மகன் என்று. மயங்குகிறாயே மகன் என்று. அன்னை என்பவள் நீதானா? தூக்கி வளர்த்தவள் தாயென்றால் அதை ஆக்கி கொடுத்தவள் பேரென்ன? வாங்கிய தாய்க்கே மகன் என்றால் அதை தாங்கிய தாய் உறவென்ன? தாங்கிய தாய் உறவென்ன? அன்னை என்பவள் நீதானா? காதம் கடந்து சென்றாலும் கடலை கடந்து பறந்தாலும் இதயம் உன்னுடன் தொடர்ந்து வரும். அதில் இன்னொரு உயிரும் நடந்து வரும். இன்னொரு உயிரும் நடந்து வரும். அன்னை என்பவள் நீதானா? அவனும் உனக்கு மகந்தானா? அன்னை என்பவள் நீதானா? நீதானா?
ராஜா என்பார் மந்திரி என்பார் ராஜ்யம் இல்லை ஆள. ஒரு ராணியும் இல்லை வாழ. ஒரு உறவும் இல்லை அதில் பிரிவும் இல்லை. அந்தரத்தில் ஊஞ்சல் ஆடுகிறேன் நாளும். அந்தரத்தில் ஊஞ்சல் ஆடுகிறேன் நாளும். ராஜா என்பார் மந்திரி என்பார் ராஜ்யம் இல்லை ஆள. ஒரு ராணியும் இல்லை வாழ. கல்லுக்குள் ஈரமில்லை நெஞ்சுக்கும் இரக்கமில்லை. ஆசைக்கு வெட்கம் இல்லை அனுபவிக்க யோகமில்லை. கல்லுக்குள் ஈரமில்லை நெஞ்சுக்கும் இரக்கமில்லை. ஆசைக்கு வெட்கம் இல்லை அனுபவிக்க யோகமில்லை. பைத்தியம் தீர வைத்தியம் இல்லை. உலகில் எனக்கு ஒரு வழி இல்லை. ராஜா என்பார் மந்திரி என்பார் ராஜ்யம் இல்லை ஆள. ஒரு ராணியும் இல்லை வாழ. உண்டு கொடிக்கொரு கிளையும் உண்டு எனக்கென்று என்ன உண்டு நிலவுக்கு வானம் உண்டு மலருக்கு வாசம் உண்டு கொடிக்கொரு கிளையும் உண்டு எனக்கென்று என்ன உண்டு ஏன் படைத்தானோ இறைவனும் என்னை மனதில் எனக்கு நிம்மதி இல்லை அந்தரத்தில் ஊஞ்சல் ஆடுகிறேன் நாளும் அந்தரத்தில் ஊஞ்சல் ஆடுகிறேன் நாளும் ராஜா என்பார் மந்திரி என்பார் ராஜ்யம் இல்லை ஆள ஒரு ராணியும் இல்லை வாழ கல்லுக்குள் ஈரமில்லை நெஞ்சுக்கும் இரக்கமில்லை ஆசைக்கு வெட்கம் இல்லை அனுபவிக்க யோகமில்லை கல்லுக்குள் ஈரமில்லை நெஞ்சுக்கும் இரக்கமில்லை ஆசைக்கு வெட்கம் இல்லை அனுபவிக்க யோகமில்லை பைத்தியம் தீர வைத்தியம் இல்லை உலகில் எனக்கு ஒரு வழி இல்லை ராஜா என்பார் மந்திரி என்பார் ராஜ்யம் இல்லை ஆள ஒரு ராணியும் இல்லை வாழ நிலவுக்கு வானம் உண்டு மலருக்கு வாசம் உண்டு கொடிக்கொரு கிளையும் உண்டு எனக்கென்று என்ன உண்டு நிலவுக்கு வானம் உண்டு மலருக்கு வாசம் உண்டு கொடிக்கொரு கிளையும் உண்டு எனக்கென்று என்ன உண்டு ஏன் படைத்தானோ இறைவனும் என்னை மனதில் எனக்கு நிம்மதி இல்லை ராஜா என்பேன்
ஆம்பிள்ளையா பிறக்க கூடாது. ஐயா பிறந்து விட்டா பொம்பிளே நினைக்க கூடாது. பிறந்தாலும் ஆம்பிள்ளையா பிறக்க கூடாது. ஐயா பிறந்து விட்டா பொம்பிளே நினைக்க கூடாது.
பிறந்தாலும் பொம்பளையா பிறக்க கூடாது. ஐயா பிறந்து விட்டா ஆம்பளையே நினைக்க கூடாது.
ஆம்பிள்ளை எல்லாம் பொம்பிளை போலே மாறவும் கூடாது. பெண்ணாடும் ஆட்டத்தை கண்டு நோட்டத்தை கொண்டு பாடவும் கூடாது. பிறந்தாலும் ஆம்பிள்ளையா பிறக்க கூடாது. ஐயா பிறந்து விட்டா பொம்பிளே நினைக்க கூடாது. போகலையே பழையதை இன்னும் மறக்கலே. மரத்துக்கு மேலே தாவறியே மனுஷனை குரங்கா நினைக்கிறேன்.
பிறந்தாலும் பொம்பளையா பிறக்க கூடாது. ஐயா பிறந்து விட்டா ஆம்பளையே நினைக்க கூடாது.
கவிஞ பாடி வச்சான் கடவுள் அதுக்கு ஒரு ஜோடி வச்சான். உன்னை எனக்கு நீ எழுதி வச்சான் உறவ நினைச்சு அழுக வச்சான்.
இருக்கிற காதல் முறிந்து விடும் அழுகிற காதல் உறுதிப்படும். முடிகிற வரைக்கும் அழுது விடு முடிந்ததும் என்னை மறந்து விடு.
பிறந்தாலும் ஆம்பிள்ளையா பிறக்க கூடாது. ஐயா பிறந்து விட்டா பொம்பிளே நினைக்க கூடாது. ஆருயிர் தங்களில் நேயமதே ஆருயிர் தங்களில் நேயமதே பெருமாயமதே நீயறியாய் ஆரணங்கே நிஜம் நீயறியாய் அதரங்கள் ரெண்டும் அணைந்திடா போது ஆனந்த சொல்ல வருவதும் ஏது ஆனந்தம் சொல்ல வருவதும் ஏது யாழின் தந்தி தன்னை விரல் மீட்டாவிடில் யாழின் தந்தி தன்னை விரல் மீட்டாவிடில் அமரநாதமே இல்லை என்றோ அமரநாதமே இல்லை என்றோ அரணங்கே நிஜம் நீயறியாய் வாசிக்க போது மூங்கிலன்றோ வாசித்த போதே முரளி என்றோ வாசித்த போதே முரளி என்றோ நேசமாக வந்து பேசிய போது பாசத்தேன் மலர் வாழ்வல்லவோ ஆரணங்கே நிஜம் நீயறியாய் மங்கையும் போலெல்லாம் மனம் வேண்டாவென்றால் மங்கையும் போலெல்லாம் மனம் வேண்டாவென்றால் மானிட சந்ததி மாயுமன்றோ மானிட சந்ததி மாயுமன்றோ இங்கிதம் தெரிந்தே அந்த பரம்பொருள் இங்கிதம் தெரிந்தே அந்த பரம்பொருள் இந்நிலம் யுகம் யுகம் தோன்றுவதே இந்நிலம் யுகம் யுகம் தோன்றுவதே ஆரணங்கே நிஜம் நீயறியாய் ஆருயிர் தங்களில் நேயமதே ஆருயிர் தங்களில் நேயமதே பெருமாயமதே நீயறியாய் ஆரணங்கே நிஜம் நீயறியாய்
Fear management is a very important dimension in life. There's a beautiful story I read. Mullah Nasruddin, a Sufi character, was driving his car and his friend observed that every time there was a honking of a lorry, Mullah is to literally shiver. At the end of this journey, his friend asked, Mullah, why is that only the honking of a lorry you seem to shiver, not the honking of any other vehicle? He said, my wife has been eloped by a lorry driver. Since my wife has been eloped by a lorry driver, every time there's a honking of a vehicle, I'm scared the lorry driver will return the wife back to me. Friends, you see this, lot of people's life is lived out of fear. Bishas mataf pavate bisho deti surya. It is said in the Veda that everybody's life seems to be running out of fear, fear, fear. So life can be fear-oriented living or life can be love-oriented living. And the greatest gift you can give to yourself if you can transform your life from fear-oriented living to love-oriented living, this transformation will make your life very juicy, very happy, very alive. If you closely observe, even people pray and their prayers are also out of fear. And hence this expression, you have to be God-fearing. God is not something to be feared, God is something to be loved. And therefore, even our prayers are also born out of fear. And if your prayers are born out of fear, then you will find unconsciously you become manipulative in your very prayer itself. I always feel people are so unconscious, but because of unconsciousness, they are not aware of the fact that they are so manipulative that they themselves are not aware that they are manipulative. The height of manipulation is you yourself are not aware you are manipulative. And when you live out of fear, even your prayer is out of fear, there is a subtle unconscious manipulation which happens. There was a person who wanted to cross the river, and he had put all his money to build a beautiful palace, and therefore the final completion of his palace, he wanted to inaugurate the beautiful palace that he had built. And as he was crossing the river, suddenly there was a storm and the boat was about to be sunk. Suddenly this man turned to be very religious. He kneeled down and prayed, "Oh Lord, please save me, please save me. And if you save me, I promise you, I will sell the palace and offer it to the poor. At least I'll have the opportunity of seeing the palace that I have constructed." He kneeled down and turned to be very religious. And suddenly, like a miracle, the Lord heard his prayer and the storm subsided. The boat was no more threatened to be sunk. And suddenly this man realized, I think I was too fast in making a deal with the Lord. Maybe I was too fast. And as this soliloquy was going on in his mind, again the storm became turbulent. The boat was about to be sunk. And so again this man kneeled down and said, "Oh Lord, I was only joking with you. Can't you take the joke lightly? I promise you, when I see the palace, I will sell the palace and offer it to the poor." Again the storm subsided, and now he knew that I had better sell the palace and offer it to the poor. He came to the other side of the shore, he saw the beautiful palace, and his manipulative mind created a device. He bought a cat, tied the cat to the palace, and started announcing to people. He says, "Anybody who buys the palace, you can buy it for only 100 rupees. But whoever buys the palace must buy the cat, and the cat is 5 million rupees." He went on making this announcement. One of them bought the palace, gave 100 rupees, bought the cat, which is 5 million, and then an interesting thing happened. He went to the temple, said, "Oh Lord, I'll keep up my word. Now, I said the proceed of the palace I'm giving it to the poor. The proceed of the palace is only 100 rupees, so you take it. The cat is my cat," and he takes the 5 million and goes away. We are so manipulative that we ourselves are not aware we are manipulative. So if your life is lived out of fear, even our prayers become highly manipulative. And therefore, the greatest gift that we owe ourselves is transform fear-oriented living to love-oriented living. And if that happens, you find your life becomes extremely powerful, or else your life is lived out of fear. And when your life is lived out of fear, there's no strength in life, there's no power in life, and therefore fear has to be transformed. Goodness should come from strength and not from weakness. I find a lot of people are good, but their goodness is not coming from strength. They are good because they have no courage to be bad. When you have no courage to be bad and then you are good, your goodness is not coming from strength. And if goodness comes from strength, then you will find life is very, very powerful. And your goodness cannot come from strength because there is always an undercurrent fear. And this fear literally starts eating people's life. to handle fear from a yogic approach, from a wise approach, is a very important education that we have to expose ourselves. People always come and say, Swamiji, how to handle fear? First I tell them, you know what is the meaning of the word fear, or what is the spelling of the word fear? F-E-A-R. Most of people's fear are fantasized experience appearing real. You know, in my workshop called Life Program, which is a 3 days workshop, I work on using spirituality for self-development. I always make people come there and say, how many of you are scared of public speaking? And there will be always a group of people who are scared. I make people come up there, stand on the stage, and just tell them, just look at the audience. And if possible, say a few words. And you will find people literally shivering. Just looking at the audience, people are scared. Their legs start jittering, hands start shaking there, just looking at the audience. Then I tell people, study has shown there are 3 to 4 great fears. And you have to be aware of these 3 to 4 fears and handle it wisely. One of the greatest fears, according to research, has been the fear of public speaking. Second is the fear of death. Third is the fear of insecurity. Fourth is the fear of rejection. And of all the fears, the fear of public speaking, people are afraid more than the fear of death. Now, what is so difficult of public speaking? So I make people stand and say, what is that you are really afraid of? And you will find they don't know what they are afraid of. They say, Swamiji, I have never spoken in the public, and therefore I'm scared. I say, if you have never been in front of the public, now you are in the front of public. So feel happy about it. But then they are scared. And then we explore into this fear. And I tell them, see, your fear is simply a fantasized experience appearing real. You're just fantasizing it there, and you're scared about it. So to handle fear, especially when there's a fear of public speaking, I give them the 3 E's technique. I say, first, experience your fear. Second, enjoy it. Third, explore into it. So therefore, in these encountering sessions in my life program, I make people stand, and then their legs start shivering, shaking. I ask them, now experience your fear. What is the experience of your nervousness? I ask this question. They say, I'm just nervous. I said, what is the experience of your nervousness? And so often I find people can't articulate the experience. They are more busy giving an explanation why they are afraid rather than the experience of their nervousness. And invariably, now I make them realize your experience of nervousness is what? He says, my legs are shaking, my hand is shaking. And then I tell them, can you experience the experience of your nervousness? Listen carefully, friends. Can you experience the experience of your nervousness? Now, this may appear to be a simple statement, but it's so difficult for people to experience. We don't experience an experience. We are too busy interpreting an experience. We are too busy judging an experience. We are too busy evaluating an experience. I tell them, drop all that, just experience innocently your nervousness. Your legs are shaking means what? Your legs are shaking. A lot of people go to the disco to make it shake, and without a disco, your legs are shaking. Beautiful. Just experience it, I said. We don't experience an experience. Isn't it, friends? Doesn't it happen so often? You go to a doctor, now he brings an injection, you turn your head this side, and he touches you and you scream. And the doctor said, I've only put alcohol strip itself. I've not even injected. Now the anticipation of pain is sometimes more painful than pain itself. So we are not with an experience. We are more with an explanation of an experience. Now this is a very important principle. In Taoism, it is called Ta Tata. Ta Tata means, can you experience the suchness of what is? In yoga, we call it Satta. Can you experience the Satta means the isness of what is? And if you can learn to practice this, it is so beautiful. You're eating your food, can you experience the experience of eating? You're taking a bath, can you experience the experience of taking a bath? But what happens to us? You're eating your food, you're thinking of the bath. When you're taking the bath, you think of your boss. When you meet your boss, you think of your wife. When you meet your wife, you think of your boss' wife. And thus, you don't experience an experience. You're always lost somewhere. So, if you can learn to practice this, and it will help you very much in fear management, whatever you are doing, experience the experience. You're listening to me? Experience the experience. You're seated on the chair, experience the experience. You're walking, experience. So I make my students stand, and when their legs are shaking, I just tell them, experience the experience of your leg shaking. And when they start experiencing the experience and not judging, evaluating, then you will find the experience is such an innocent, beautiful experience. So first, experience. Second, can you simply enjoy the experience? Because unconsciously they are not enjoying the experience. So experience. Second, I said learn to enjoy. Their legs are shaking. I said enjoy your leg shaking. It's so beautiful. Means your nervous system is very alive. Your hands are shaking. Good. Enjoy it. Learn to go on enjoying whatever you are doing. Then you will find the whole quality of experience is different. So they're standing on the stage. First I make them experience. After some time I ask them, how do you feel? Now your tension would have reduced. Then I bring in the dimension, can you enjoy? And say, beautiful, your legs are shaking. Beautiful, my hands are shaking. When the moment you learn to enjoy it, fear reduces. You have a different strength of handling it. Lastly, I say, can we explore this fear of public speaking? And when you explore, people give lot of explanation. Swamiji, I have never spoken in the public. This is the first time in the public, therefore I'm scared. I tell them, the first time you get married, you're not scared. First time you go to Switzerland, you're not scared. So what is the genesis of this fear? Can you explore? And when you slowly explore, we find the genesis of fear is this. We are caught up in the structure called looking good. There are three important structures. There is looking good, feeling good, and being good. You're standing in front of the people. Now you are scared. The genesis of fear is you're looking good. Not physically, but psychologically you want to look good. Psychologically, what are people talking about me? They may criticize me. They may say I'm not a good speaker. They may say I'm such an idiot. Now their speaking starts breaking a certain image that you want in their eyes, and the image that you want is you want people to look at you as you want them to say he's a good person. You're caught up in this game called looking good. Not looking good physically, but psychologically looking good. We have an image about ourselves, and we want our image to be endorsed and respected by the other person. And if somebody does not endorse your image gets stabbed. This is a big psychological sickness that we are caught up in this game called looking good. Looking good is different from being good. Your whole genesis of fear, what will people talk about you? And if they talk negative, your image gets stabbed. So therefore, you're caught up in this image game. Now, you have to learn to develop another value system. Learn first to have the value of being good. Based on being good, learn to feel good. And lastly, give this priority of looking good. But at present, people's priorities are confused. They want first the looking good and last the being good. So I help people to reorganize their priorities. The most important priority is being good, based on being good, feeling good, and lastly looking good. And when you have this, you find many of our fears, especially the fear of public speaking, will just drop away. There was one student of mine who did my workshop in Chennai, and she came to me and said, Swamiji, I'm very unhappy. She was a young girl, hardly about 21, 22 years. She became a widow at the age of 18 years. And she was feeling very lonely, and I asked her, why can't you get married? To which she said, Swamiji, how can I get married? I'm an orthodox South Indian Brahmin. I asked her, is it wrong for you to get married? She says, no, it is not wrong for me to get married. But what will people talk, Swamiji, if I get married? I asked her, what are people talking about you? Now, she said, people are talking about me that I'm a Satya Savitri, I'm a very good girl. But, so people are talking good about me. But I asked her, are you feeling good? You're looking good in their eyes, but are you feeling good? She says, no, I'm not feeling good. Then I asked her, are you being good to yourself? She said, no, I'm not being good to myself. Then I said, you're only caught up in looking good, and you have sacrificed feeling good and being good for the sake of looking good. All this is because your priorities are all messed up. And therefore, if you can reorganize your priorities first on being good, based on feeling good, and lastly looking good, you will find you will be able to manage your fear much better. Many of our fears is all the fear, what will people talk about me? It's like this beautiful story. A father and a son was going along with a donkey. The father sat on the donkey, and people start telling in that village, what type of man he is. Young son is walking and the father is seated on the donkey. The father heard this, so he got down and made the son sit on the donkey. Again, villagers started speaking, what type of father he is. The old man is walking, the young son is seated on the donkey. What type of education he is giving. He heard this, and again, both of them sat on the donkey. Again, villagers started talking, what type of father he is. So much of cruelty to the animal. Both of them are seated on the donkey. Now again, he heard this, both of them got down and the donkey was alone and they were walking at the side. Again, villagers spoke, what type of father he is. They are not making use of the donkey. The donkey is walking alone. The only choice left is both of them were carrying the donkey. This is what happens. You're too caught up what people will say. People will say anything. In Hindi, there's an expression, logon ka kaam hai kehna. Always they will be talking. So therefore, you're too caught up in looking good, the whole orientation changes. And therefore, friends, first is learn to reorganize your priorities. Many of it you are caught up in the game of looking good. And if you can reorganize being good based on feeling good, looking good should be the last priority, then you will find you'll be able to handle your simple fear of public speaking in a much better way. The first great fear is the fear of public speaking. The second great fear is the fear of death. A lot of people are afraid of death. We are afraid of death for we look at death as an enemy to life. But if you can reorganize your perception, your paradigm, and yoga helps us in reorganizing our paradigm, don't look at death as an enemy to life, as an end of life. Look at death as an encounter in the spectrum of life. Your perception towards death, if it changes, what yoga invites us to do, don't look at death as an end of life. It is only an incident in the spectrum of life. It is like changing a house. When you change a house, it doesn't mean to say that you have to be scared of. So too, death is only an incident in the spectrum of life. Lord Krishna in the Gita says, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara prapti dhiras tatra mukhyati. The Lord says in the Gita, don't be scared. Just look, death is constantly being happening. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram. You're born as a child. Then you become a youth. Then you're dead to your child. You're born to youth. Again, become middle age. You're dead to youth. You're born to middle age. Then again, you become old. You're dead to the middle age. You're born to the new age. And therefore, death is constantly happening. Right now, today is gone. The next moment is born. So death is not an end of life. Death, in fact, is the very platform from which life emerges. So if you change your perception of death as an end of life, then you find your experience of death is an experience to be experienced in the spectrum of life. Somebody came to a famous Indian poet and asked him this question, I'm scared of death, what should I do? And this poet said beautifully, why are you afraid of death? If you can learn to trust life, then you will learn to trust even death. And he gives a beautiful example. He says, even before you are born, God has been so kind. Milk is created in the breast of your mother even before you are born. If this is the kindness of nature, the kindness of existence, even before you are born, so too when you are living, who knows, there can be another world which is being already created. Learn to trust. We are really not afraid of the unknown. People tell me, Swamiji, the fear of death is the fear of the unknown. I always tell them, how can there be a fear of the unknown? Are you afraid of Ladalodai? No. What is Ladalodai? Gabagabai? No, Ladalodai, Gabagabai, you do not know. And if you do not know, you cannot be afraid of. You are only afraid of the fear of losing the known, not that you are afraid of the unknown. This poet says, even before you are born, nature has been so kind, so too as you are living, there can be another world created to you. So therefore, learn to trust. And if you can bring this energy called trust in your life, you will find you will be able to get over the fear of death. Hence, Lord Krishna in the Gita says, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Learn to have Shraddha, he says. Once when you have trust, then you will find life becomes extremely powerful and you can manage your fear wisely. Listen to this beautiful Sufi story. There was a Sufi mystic who got married, and after marriage he has not even spent that night. The marriage party had to cross the river, and suddenly there was a storm, and when there's a storm, the whole boat was about to be sunk. Now the Sufi mystic was very relaxed because the necessary people were balancing the boat. But the Sufi mystic's wife got angry at the husband and said, are you not scared that we are going to die? We have not even lived for one day of married life, and so many years we are in a romantic relationship. Are you not scared? To which the Sufi mystic said, I am not scared. The wife asked, what is the secret of you not being afraid? He got up, took out the knife and charged at her. He put the knife under her neck and said, I'm going to kill you. And asked the wife, are you scared? And the wife said, I am not scared. The husband said, what is the secret of you not being scared? To which the wife said, the knife may be dangerous, but the one who is wielding the knife loves me very much, and therefore I am not scared. Exactly in the same way, the Sufi mystic said, the waves may be dangerous, but the one who is wielding the waves, the Lord, loves me very much, and I trust that, and therefore I am not scared. And if you have the power of trust, you will find you will be able to sail through the storms of life in a much different way.
கண்டால் கொல்லும் விஷமா கட்டழகு மங்கையரை நான் கொண்டாடி திரியாமல் குருடாவதை காலம். பெண்களை நம்பாதே கண்களே, பெண்களை நம்பாதே, பெண்களை நம்பாதே கண்களே, பெண்களை நம்பாதே, வீண் பெருமை காட்டி சிறுமையாக்கும் பெண்களை நம்பாதே கண்களே, பெண்களை நம்பாதே. மஞ்சளம் போல மற்றவர் தொட்டால் மாசுரும் பெண்மை என்றே பேசிடும் உண்மை. மஞ்சளம் போல மற்றவர் தொட்டால் மாசுரும் பெண்மை என்றே பேசிடும் உண்மை. கெட்டு வெஞ்சலம் போல எவர் தொட்டாலும் விளக்கி எடுத்து விரும்பும் தன்மை பெண்களை நம்பாதே. கொண்டையிலே தாழம் பூவாம் அதன் உள்ளே இருக்கிறது ஏறும் வேணாம். உய்யார கொண்டையிலே தாழம் பூவாம் அதன் உள்ளே இருக்கிறது ஏறும் வேணாம். இதை மெய்யாய் உணர்ந்தவனே புத்திமானாம் மேனினுக்கும் பெண்டுகளை பார்த்திடானாம் கண்டவரோடு கண்ணால் பேசி காமுறுமாறு இந்த பூமி மீது கண்டவரோடு கண்ணால் பேசி காமுறுமாறு இந்த பூமி மீது கொண்ட கணவன் தன்னை கழுத்தறுப்பாள் காரிகை ரூபத்தில் காணும் பிசாசு பெண்களை நம்பாதே கண்களே பெண்களை நம்பாதே மீன் பெருமை காட்டி சிறுமையாக்கும் பெண்களை நம்பாதே கண்களே பெண்களை நம்பாதே கண்களே பெண்களை நம்பாதே பெண்களை நம்பாதே